Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It is another great day and another episode of Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook. Kelly, it is, we're back from Thanksgiving, so we didn't have an episode last week, so sorry if you missed us, but it was Thanksgiving. We all had a great time. Kelly, what was your biggest, no, you know what I'm going to ask? What are you most thankful for? What was you when you went around the table, you know, and you're thinking it's Thanksgiving, you got to give thanks. What were you most thankful for? Of course, your family, but like, you know, everybody says that, but it's something a little bit deeper if you can get there.
Yeah, I guess I will. I mean, I've been thinking about this the last several days a lot, and it's the ability to, or the freedom to choose greatness. There was this guy, this guy who's, I mean, I'll just tell you who he is. The president of Real Broker. This guy is outstanding. And he's made a career for himself, prior to even being in this position, Sharon Servista. So shout out to Sharon, who's huge on social media, by the way. But he has this quote that says, "Greatness is a choice. Greatness is a choice. And you can choose to be great." But what does that mean, right? And it can mean a lot of things, but we won't go into all that right now. But greatness is a choice. And one of the things to be great that you have to do is do the hard things. And he has, for example, a 5 a.m. call club. 5 a.m. every single day of the year. Literally every single day. This is hard for me to wrap my mind around. Holidays, weekends, doesn't matter. 5 a.m. call. And there's people that it's free. People can join it. And you just hear something inspirational, aspirational, whatever, motivational, for 5 minutes for that day, and it gets you going. The best thing about it, though, Elizabeth, is that it gets your day going at a certain time. Mm-hmm. Now it's 5 a.m. Pacific. So we're in Arizona, we're weird, right? So we're on it for part of the year, mountain time. But if you're in the East Coast, it's only 8 a.m. call. Right. Yeah. So no big deal, but it's awesome. And I was thinking about that because I was sitting there wrapping my mind around it. Here's the progression for me. I was sitting there going, on holidays, like on Sundays, on the weekend, right? Like you're still getting up and doing this call. And right below it, greatness is a choice. I was like, okay, all right. You know what? That resonated with me. So there is what I'm grateful for today.
Fantastic. I love that because, I was like, I know you're grateful for your family. Yeah, we know. But what else? And I love that answer. That was great. So welcome back from Thanksgiving break. And today, kind of keeping on the theme with the holidays and, getting up and going to that 5 a.m. call, even on holidays, you are choosing to do that. You're choosing to work. You're choosing to be great. But today we want to talk about how you kind of get your sellers or your buyers to maybe choose to do something during the holidays as well. Let's make them great also. And so with the holidays coming up, it's kind of that age-old tale that you get a lot of people kind of coming back, well, maybe I'll just wait to put it on the market until January, right? Or until the spring market. But there are ways to handle that, to kind of counter that objection. And we're going to talk about that today. Kelly, what can you say to get these people to change their minds?
Yeah. Okay. First and foremost, I don't know that anybody, no matter who you are, can force anyone to do anything with your words, right? Because I know what you meant, Elizabeth, for sure. But I mean, I'm just going to say that because I think some people, especially when people I've coached before in the past, they're like, man, I can't get these people to move, whatever it is, right? Not necessarily move figuratively, but like off the fence even, right? Or whatever. And what's some good scripting? Well, there is good scripting. Words do matter, but that doesn't mean you're going to be able to find the right words to be able to make them do something, right? They still have to want to internally do it. However, like I said, words do matter. So a lot of people just look for excuses in a lot of things. I think we all know that, right? We see that in everything we do, everything we see around us. That is the case in many times. This is a human being trait, right? Procrastination and things of that nature. And they're looking for, excuses. Now, there's this old saying, right, that people probably have heard: you can have reasons, but not excuses. But even reasons, are things that might prolong doing something, let's say. Well, there's a lot of people right now, I guarantee you, in any market, even in markets in the Midwest and East Coast, where maybe it's getting really cold and it starts to snow, that's an excuse. Oh, I'm not going to put my house in the market and sell because I don't want to move in the snow. Really? Is it really? Now, is that really the reason? And I would submit to you that that's not the real reason the vast majority of the time. It's just prolonging something they know they need to do or want to do. They're just looking for a reason not to do it today. So as a salesperson, this is where you come into play. Now, I say this all the time. I'll say it again. I hate the fact that real estate agents have this title called realtor, because I feel like a lot of people who get in the business, they say, well, I'm a realtor. And they forget that you're still in sales. You're selling something, right? You could be selling, prescription drugs for Pfizer. You could be selling bicycles for Trek bicycles or whatever, but you're still selling. And in real estate, we're selling houses to people who are looking to do that, and whether they're buying, selling, whatever, right? So you're still selling. That being said, when someone says, I'm going to wait till after the holidays, let's say, right? Or maybe I'll wait till the springtime. You got to dig deeper. You have to go deeper and find out reason as to why that is the case. Now, just saying why is that? That's not the best option, because why is that, or just why by itself, sometimes can come off as accusatory, and people will get very defensive if you don't phrase that the correct way. Nonetheless, though, you need to dig deeper and find out the reason behind it. And so there could be things that you could say like, "Oh, it's interesting. Tell me more about that." And then close your mouth and see what they say next. And then you're digging that way without saying, well, I got to wait till, January. Why? Mr. Smith, why? Oh, well, because I want to. That's why, right? Because now he's getting defensive. Yeah. So you have to dig deeper and find that out. But the reality is that there could be a reason as to why they want to wait, a more legit reason, but you got to find that out. Now, let me say this too, is that you have to have an opinion. I literally just got a call from a friend of mine who has another realtor and has used a one realtor who's he's friends with for years. But he called me yesterday, I should say 2 days ago, and out of the blue kind of, and wants to sell his house. One of the reasons why he called me is because the current realtor he has used for a while, who does sell houses, didn't have an opinion as to when the best time was to put the house in the market. Well, we could do it now, we could do it later, we could do it then. What do you think? Right, that kind of thing. And I'm telling you, that made him start to doubt. Maybe is this the right person for this job? Maybe for other jobs it's okay. This job, maybe not. So that was one thing he wanted to get my opinion on, which I gladly helped and gave my advice on. But at the end of the day, you may not be wrong, you may not be right. But if you're confident on your opinion, people are part of the fee they're paying you for your professional opinion. So you need to have one. And then you need to be able to have one.
They need to be
and
guided.
Articulate it.
Yeah.
What's that?
They hired somebody because they need the guidance. Like they need the true guidance because they're not the professional. They hired a professional to help guide them through it. Like
exactly.
Using your experience. Yeah.
It could be in anything you do. If you ask someone's opinion, like, what do you think? And they give you kind of a, answer half-heartedly, right? I don't care if it's like, hey, should we drive to school or should we walk? Whatever, right? Just something silly. They go, well, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't know either now, right? Because you're not helping me. You could be wrong, and by the time you get, it's like the bank teller line, right? I know people still go to the bank tellers, right? It's like, let's go to line 3, and then inevitably line 1's faster one. You're like, right? But you had an opinion. You felt because there was, a Lamborghini and a fast BMW in line 3, that'd be the fastest line. And then you had a minivan line 1, 2 minivans, right? So you went to line 3, but you were convicted as the reason why you need to be convicted and articulate that to the person who's asking you for your professional opinion. So that is a big thing for the holidays. Now, it just so happens in Phoenix, for example, that even the market starts to take off in January and February when it's still really nice here, snowbirds coming down, that kind of thing. Everyone kind of knows that, traditionally speaking. December is a slower month, no doubt about it. However, that all being said, there are still 4,000 to 5,000 homes that trade every month in Maricopa County. Now, what's that mean? Well, it means by comparison, a good month is about 8,000 homes. A really good month, like in 2021, you could be 11 to 12,000 homes. So you're going to be about half, a little bit below half potentially in the month of December, but that's still a lot of people buying homes. And so get your unfair share. Now, if someone is looking in December, you got to set expectations as well. All right, you have to do that. So, Mr. Seller, I think you should maybe put it on the market today, or if you're ready, before Christmas. Now, if I have this weird date, Elizabeth, or December 11th is kind of my day. I don't know why or how. There's no scientific proof behind it, but it's about 2 weeks before Christmas or so. So, if someone says, I won't be ready till December 14th, you know what? Maybe that time, let's just wait till after Christmas. Now, I did not say after the new year. In Phoenix, and I would say in some markets as well across the country, that week after Christmas is huge, especially a market where people might visit more frequently than others because they're down there visiting because of the warm weather or the attractions of what do they have going on or whatever. And even if you're in Wisconsin, I know I'm jumping around here a lot, but even in Wisconsin or North Dakota where it's cold, let's say really cold, someone who's maybe thinking about going to a warm weather city to just maybe check out some stuff in this example, or maybe to a city that has a huge attraction like the Final Four coming up later in the year or the Super Bowl or whatever, right?
Or just family
that's going to visit.
Yeah.
They start looking at real estate online because the family thing's done. Christmas is over. It's the 26th. I'm hopping online to do what I want to do. And if your home is not on the market listed, they have no idea. Now, I cannot tell you how many times someone is like, look, I'm going to go visit Arizona. I'm going to visit wherever I'm going to go visit. And it's 3 months away. And so I am kind of interested in real estate. I'm going to get online and look. And they're not even going to think about doing anything until they set foot on the ground in that city. But then all of a sudden, the right house comes up, the right scenario changes. And next thing you know, I'm getting a call from somebody from Minneapolis saying, hey, this house, can you go take a video tour of it for me? Because I can't get down there. Well, it wasn't the plan. Now I can fly down if I'm under contract during the inspection period, check all that, but I can't. So can you do and then you do a video walkthrough, FaceTime, whatever. And all of a sudden they go, that's the one. And they buy the house 3 months or 2 months before they ever plan on thinking of doing something like that. So you just never know. And there's always someone looking. So I would say that, that week after Christmas is huge. I would say that 2 weeks before Christmas is more of a true dead period. Now we still get showings, but I'm saying if you're gonna have the house not on the market yet, then just go ahead and maybe don't waste those 2 weeks for days on market and go to the 26th, 27th. But if you're on the market, that doesn't mean it's gonna be dead completely. That's 2 weeks before Christmas. We get showings all the time for listings we have that went on the market, around Thanksgiving or whatever, right? And it's still in the market, and then people are looking on December 21st. Now, if they're looking at December 21st, do you think they're probably serious?
Yes. That was going to
Absolutely.
be my next point. You're getting more motivated people in the door. Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. So it might be a little more inconvenient, but the good news is, for lack of a better phrase, there's not a lot of people looking, so you won't have that many showings. But when you do, if you do, it should be very quality in terms of the people who are looking to buy, because they could do a lot of things with their time 3 or 4 or 5 days before Christmas, then look at houses, right? Let's be honest about that. So that's my rant about that. And I think it's a good one. I think it's because a lot of people just take that for what it is. They call someone, yeah, you know what? I'm looking to sell. Actually, we're gonna wait till after the holidays, get through that, and then we'll talk about it further then. And most people are just like, oh, okay. Well,
that
are you really doing your client? Yeah, exactly. And they just lay down. But at the end of the day, are you really doing your client the best service by waiting until then? Now, maybe you have data that says, yes, you are. Perfect. Then that situation, you should. But to take a blanket statement like that and just go, oh, okay, and hang up and I'll call you back January 10th or something, that could be in many ways malpractice. I can tell you right now, there's certain areas within Phoenix right now that have zero supply on the market right now. And yet I know there are people looking in that area because of previous showings and maybe a listing we had there that's already sold. I know there is. So what if you were the only house now, the only game in town that came on the market on December 3rd, randomly? Do you think you might have a good chance of selling for a good price? Why? Because there's very little competition. Because everyone's thinking the same thing. Wait till January. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would be ready to do if I were you guys, because you can't stop lead generating. And if you're lead generating at all in December, you're going to get this objection. It's going to happen. Now, if you're not lead generating, you shouldn't probably even watch the podcast because you're not going to have anything to do with it anyways, because you're not even talking to anybody, right? You're using Christmas as an excuse to just wait till January if you're going to start calling people to do some business. And by that time, you're going to be 3 months behind your 2024 goal. So don't do that. Right?
Yeah, get at least in December, get your stuff set up so that in January you already have stuff, getting close to close instead of waiting until then and, pushing yourself back out further. So
exactly.
absolutely.
Don't be part.
One question I have just, because this is something that I've heard and I'm not sure if it's true. So I want to know, from your experience, do you think that there is something about the homes being, I know we talk about staging homes and things like that, but is there something when it's got, the Christmas tree up and you've got your stockings out? Like, do you think that also is somewhat of a benefit for buyers coming to look at your house? Like they've got that nostalgic, like, oh, look how pretty it's set up for the holidays. Like, do you think that that's a benefit or a detractor, I suppose, if you've got Christmas stuff up?
So I think it is the vast majority of the time, a benefit. I really do. It's funny, we were role playing because we practice what we preach here on this podcast, right? So our team, we do the same thing. So we were role playing on this specific topic just the other day, and it's funny because during the role play, the two agents they go. The one guy asked that same question. Well, you know what? I'm going to wait, and he goes, "Why is that?" And he said, "Well, because I'm going to do my Clark Griswold impersonation. We're going to get the house going and Christmas trees, and it's just not a good time. It's not going to look very well." And the agent was like, "Oh, that's perfect. The home will show beautifully." And he goes, "Well, what do you mean? I have kids and like we have family stuff all over the place from Christmas." And he's like, "And you know what the agent said?" He goes, "I have a family too. And so do my clients. They will love that." And then the person goes,
is in that house. Yeah.
100%. The person's like, oh, well, that's okay. That is a good point. When should we get together to maybe put on the market? Right. Like that it was like, well, I have a family and so does my clients. They would love to see how it looks like that. They can envision their family there next Christmas. I mean, that was powerful. So yeah, I do think, Elizabeth, that the vast majority of time, I think the only time maybe it might not be is if going over the top with lights everywhere and it's still great in many ways. I think if for some reason that allows you or keeps you from keeping the house somewhat decluttered, that would be the one thing. But that's two separate things. A lot of people think, well, we have a lot of lights and Christmas trees, it's all cluttered. No,
it can be done. It can be done tastefully and
tastefully.
Beautifully.
Exactly. You can have a lot of lights and trees everywhere. That doesn't mean your bedrooms are just junk stock full of stuff and your hallways are so tight you can barely move down them, right? That doesn't mean that at all. So I 100% think it is a benefit in the vast majority of cases.
Yeah, just because I was thinking about it, like that's the one time of year that our houses look typically pretty different than they do most of the time, and it's for the better. Like it looks cozy, it looks homey, you can really envision, Christmas or any holidays around this time are such a just such an emotional, nostalgic thing. That's when I was looking for homes. I know when I bought my last home, I would walk into a home, it was in August, so it wasn't during Christmas, but one of my first thoughts is, okay, in this house, where's the Christmas tree going to go?
Where's the tree go?
So, so it seems like it is a really powerful benefit to have your stuff up. So cool.
I agree.
All right. Well, if any of you have any questions about this or any other topic we have spoke about here on this podcast or anything you want us to talk about, Kelly, where can they reach you?
Yeah. Social media at Kelly Cook Homes on Instagram, or just, hey, text me. We just had someone text me the other day, and it was cool because they gave me a shout out regarding all the NAR lawsuits and what's going on there, right, with buyer agency, et cetera. And shout out to you as well. I'm going to reply and give you my thoughts on that. But we do have quite a few podcasts that we did regarding all of that data and what we think is going to go and what we can do to combat all of that as real estate agents. So check that out. But also too, just text me 480-227-2028.
Fabulous. And if this coming year, one of your goals is to start a team, go to buildyourrealestateteam.com and get the full, guidebook on how to do that. Kelly's kind of written that out from his experience. So go download that. And other than that, you guys, we will see y'all next week. Bye, Kelly.
See you, Elizabeth.